Hello, Unified community. Welcome to the Unified Exchange podcast, where we at Special Olympics Minnesota share ideas and stories that foster inclusion in and outside the classroom. Each episode, you can expect us to cover a variety of topics to help grow the unified programming happening at your school. Our hope is that these conversations can inspire change, cultivate leaders, and transform environments that embrace each other's differences.
Welcome back to Unified Exchange. My name is Bria King. I am a Unified Champion Schools intern on behalf of the school's team at Special Olympics Minnesota. This episode, we are honored to welcome our members of the 2025 to 2026 Student Board of Directors, Jasper and Liam, our Unified Presidents, and Ella, our Leadership Officer. They will give us some insight on the Student Board of Directors and student leadership. Can you each introduce yourselves and tell us how you got involved with Unified?
Yeah. My name is Jasper Haskins, and I'm one of the co-presidents of the Student Board of Directors this year, and I'm also going to be a senior at Minnetonka High School, and I've been involved with Unified for a long time. My parents met volunteering at Adapted Sports, so it's always been pretty important in my family. But I really got involved in middle school from my neighbor who has Down syndrome, and he started getting me involved with my Unified program at my middle school, and then I started attending weekly meetings in Unified PE, and then in high school I got more involved, becoming a leader my freshman year, and then I joined the Student Board of Directors last year, and then this year I'll be the co-president.
That's awesome.
My name is Miam Chow, and I go to Stillwater a senior, and I was joined Unified freshman year and get out of trouble. Then now I am a leader and learn me how to help people. I am CEO president and I love sports and play football, swim, and I like to coach.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Ella Mandy, and like Bria said, I'm going to be the leadership officer for the Student Board of Directors this year. I'm also a junior at Orono High School, and my childhood best friend Anna, her older brother, is a Unified athlete, and so growing up, I just saw all the amazing opportunities he got from Unified and saw how happy it made him. And that's when I joined my middle school breakfast club and participated in that, and that sparked my admiration for inclusion, and then I joined my Unified club in high school.
I love that you guys all have different stories of how you became involved with Unified. That's just beautiful. So now let's jump into our team connectors. Each episode we'll do a team connector for a question to have me and the listeners get to know our guest speakers a little better. Jasper, what is the most exciting thing you have ever done in Unified?
Oh, that's a hard one. I've done a lot of fun things through Unified, but I have to say my favorite thing so far has been the polar plunge this year. I've done it several years before, but this year is really special because one of my best friends, who also is a leader of our school's Unified program and a Unified athlete, and she jumped with me at the polar plunge, and she was really, really nervous. She refused to do it, but then the day of, she was like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to be brave. So she ended up jumping with me right by my side, and it was really special to see her face her fears, and she ended up having a blast at the end. But the most special part for me was at the end when she said that she can do anything with friends by her side, which I think really truly encapsulates Special Olympics and our friendship, which was really special.
That's so sweet. I love that. Liam, what is your favorite Unified memory?
My favorite memories, I'm coach, my team, baseball, yeah.
Awesome. Ella, what's a fun fact that not many people know?
This actually took a lot of thinking to come up with, but so backstory, I work at a nursing home and I do activities, and so last week I was just walking around and some of the residents were doing a puzzle, and I sat down by the residents and I was doing this puzzle, and I ended up doing it for like an hour and a half. And so my fun fact is that I love doing puzzles now. And I've been doing puzzles at my house every single day since last Wednesday.
That's an awesome hobby. I love that. This morning, during our Game Time segment, we'll be diving into inclusive youth leadership and introducing the Student Board of Directors. The Student Board of Directors is a unified student leadership team that brings together students with and without disabilities from across the state of Minnesota. They meet monthly to discuss unified initiatives, Special Olympics Minnesota, and ways to build a more inclusive world. Throughout this experience, board members and cabinet leaders will develop essential leadership skills and apply them within their own unified clubs. These students are true change makers, leading the charge for inclusion and unity in the schools and communities. Jasper, why did you apply to be on the Student Board of Directors?
Yeah, so my sophomore year, I was interested in the Student Board of Directors through my advisor of my school's Unified Club, and I really didn't know what it was, but then I started doing some more research, and I was really inspired to help create a meaningful change in my community and to meet other leaders from across the state. I really wanted to help make a difference in my community and across the state of Minnesota through Special Olympics, so I decided to apply, and it's been an amazing experience to be able to learn and connect with different leaders from across the state.
Awesome. Ella, what is your favorite memory of being on the Student Board of Directors last year?
My favorite memory was probably volunteering at the state basketball meet. Me and Jasper both volunteered there, and Liam actually played, which was super awesome. And we got a little media card, and we got to go behind the scenes and interview people, and it was super fun to see the amazing environment.
That's awesome. I love Unified State Basketball. It's always a fun time of the year. Liam, what is a goal you have for the Student Board of Directors, and how are you going to achieve that goal?
I want to more people join the Olympics boarding next year.
Awesome. Ella, how does the Student Board of Directors reach out to communities in Minnesota?
We got a lot of opportunities to go to different events like the polar plunge basketball tournaments, and we kind of just got to go up to people and introduce ourselves and say what we do on the board of directors, and it really gave us an opportunity to voice what we do and that other people should get involved.
I love how you guys reach out to other communities about the Student Board of Directors. I think it's an important message to bring, for sure. Jasper, what advice do you have for other members on being on the Student Board of Directors?
I would say first, congrats. It's a really amazing opportunity and you should be really proud of yourself. But I would say to make sure to come in with an open mind, to be ready to collaborate. There's a lot of opportunities for you to collaborate on the Student Board of Directors. You're able to bounce off ideas with people from across the state with different backgrounds and different unified programs, which is a really amazing opportunity. And I would say to make sure to not just speak, but also make sure to listen. I've learned lots of valuable things for people in those settings that have really been game changers for my school's unified program. So I make sure just to speak up and also listen too.
Love that advice. Ella, what is an important trait or concept that the Student Board of Directors should have going into the year of 2026?
I think being able to go outside your comfort zone is a really good thing to be able to do. It can be kind of nerve-wracking to speak up or speak to people you don't know, but it really helps, and like the faster you get it done, like the easier it is to get into everything. And so just being able to speak up, even though it can be kind of scary, is really good to do.
Yeah, awesome to use your voice for sure. Liam, in your own words, what is a leader?
Somebody who help people and give up for people who want to bully.
That's nice. I love that. Ella, what makes the Student Board of Directors of Special Olympics Minnesota more unique than other boards out there?
I think how inclusive the board is makes it different. There's 40 people from across the state of Minnesota, and there's athletes and partners on the board, so really anybody can be on it. You just have to be kind, I guess, but yeah, it's just super inclusive and not put to only like one certain group of people.
I love that message. Jasper, what does inclusive leadership look like in your school and on the Student Board of Directors?
Yeah, so at my school, we have a leadership team of about 20 people, both with and without disabilities. They're from all grades at our high school, and they're all athletes and they're volunteers too, which is pretty amazing. And at our school, everyone is included in our leadership meetings and on our committees that we have. We have committees for communications, leading meetings, big events, small events. And our both our athletes and our volunteers work together to help lead meetings. They create social media posts, coach teams, and they help plan events. So it's very inclusive at our school. And it's been really amazing for our school to have leaders of all abilities doing everything. It's really helped grow our leadership team. And on the Student Board of Directors, it consists of people of all abilities on the Student Board of Directors. And on the cabinet, we have unified presidents and co-presidents. Liam's my other co-president, yeah. And then this is where there are partners of people both with and without disabilities who share the role together, which has been really great for student board of directors to have a unified cabinet.
I love the inclusion there.
Mhm.
I love that. Ella, why is it important to have good leaders?
A good leader helps the group reach its goals that they have in place, and a good leader will also help create other kind and authentic leaders.
I love that. Jasper, what motivates you to stay involved and help lead the Unified movement?
I would say seeing the impact on all of people that are involved with Unified is really amazing to see. I have seen our leaders who are Unified athletes that have really grown as people, and they have been able to have really good leadership skills, as well as creating a lot of meaningful friendships and just growing a lot as people, which has been amazing to see. And I've also seen our volunteers that have been helping out a lot, which have seen them grow and hearing their stories about how much they've been impacted from Unified and how it's changed their lives and changed my life too. So it's been really amazing to hear those. And then I also really want to help create a passion. I also have a passion for change and want to help create a more inclusive world, which really helps motivate me to continue to stay involved with Unified.
I love that answer. I think you guys are going to do a great job on the upcoming 2026
Thanks,
on Student Board of Directors. Very excited for you guys. Liam, what is a challenge that you have faced in your Unified Club, and what did you learn from that challenge?
We had a hard times with basketball team, but let now to work together.
Awesome. Teamwork makes the dream work. That's what everyone says. Finally, I'd love to hear all of you guys on this last question. Who is a leader you admire and why?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I had the opportunity to attend the Special Olympics Women in Leadership Summit, and I was able to hear from the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the Minnesota Vikings, and I really liked her speech. And then I was able to have the opportunity to job shadow her this past May.
Wow.
And so I was able to go and kind of walk in her shoes and see what she does and learn from her. And it was a really amazing experience. And I got to learn how she kind of changed the game for DEI in sports and also for women in sports. She started as one of the only women who was working in the NFL, and now she has really changed the game over her past several years working there. And so I really admire her passion for change and her dedication to inclusion and DEI.
That seems like an awesome opportunity. Liam?
A Lemmy that was Nick Hoff from my school. He made me feel included in my baseball team.
That's awesome to just feel included and part of a community. I love that.
Ella?
A leader that I admire in my life is Jenny Stankovitz. She's one of the adults that helps run our Unified program at my school, and she just consistently lives Unified every single day, and I really admire her kindness and patience for others, and she's just such an amazing person to be around and learn from.
I love that. So a leader I admire is my mom. She works just really hard, and she just has always such good advice for me. She always tells me to take the high road, and I just really looked up to her as a leader, and I love that. That concludes our game time questions. I appreciate your willingness to educate our listeners and sharing your experiences. We will close this episode with a leadership drill. This part of the show is where we will share frequently asked questions from the audience and share the answer on the show. Today, our leadership question is from Lily Knudsen, a senior at Egan High School and a member of the Student Board of Directors. What does inclusion mean to you, Jasper?
I would say to me, inclusion is creating a place to make everyone feel welcome and included regardless of their ability. It is about building a community that is accessible for everyone, and I would say inclusion is the mindset of finding unique strengths and gifts in everyone and planning for their success.
Love that answer. Ella?
Inclusion to me is, like Jasper said, making a place where everyone feels welcome, but doing that effortlessly and just making sure you're including people 24/7 without even thinking about it.
I love how you put into perspective of 24/7. I think a lot of people need to hear that. That's a really important thing. The cool down allows us the opportunity to leave our listeners with a nugget of wisdom. The final question is, as a changemaker, what advice do you give our listeners on how to incorporate student leadership in their Unified programs? Jasper.
I would say to try to focus on inclusion in your leadership to help reflect your community. I say all students have unique strengths and gifts to share, and when you find them and help support them to help build up those strengths and gifts, it allows them to shine and build leadership around those. I would say many students are good at different skills. Some students are really good at leading meetings. Some students are really good at including others, making people feel welcome. And when you highlight those talents, it really helps create a good inclusive environment where everyone feels welcomed and can help lead in their own way.
I love that answer, how leaders don't have to be like the speakers. They could be behind the they can be behind the background and, taking notes and stuff. Yeah, I love that. How about you?
Just going to other students, maybe not even in the Unified Club, and trying to, like Jasper said, use your specific skills that are good for you, and just going out and using Unified even outside of the club.
I love that answer. Thank you for joining us today, and don't forget to live unified.
It was fantastic to hear from our 2025 to 2026 Student Board of Directors Cabinet. They had great wisdom on student youth leadership and will make awesome change markers for the unified movement. Bria King has been a Unified Champion Schools intern with us this summer and has done an amazing job with her tasks. Bria, on behalf of Special Olympics Minnesota and myself, we loved having you be a part of the Unified Champion Schools team. Bria has a bright future ahead of her after this internship. Bria, what are the plans for you this fall?
Thank you, Abby. I really appreciate it. It has been an honor working at Special Olympics Minnesota. In the fall, I will be attending the University of Iowa, go Hawkeyes, and I will be attending at the UI Reach program, which is a transition program embedded in a college setting. I'm very excited to see what my future holds for me.
That is great. Speaking of going back to school, I can't believe the school year is already here. Wow, time just flies by.
True facts.
Every fall, we host back-to-school meetings with our educators. Bria, can you tell us more about what that looks like?
Educators will receive an email from their Special Olympics Minnesota area staff contact. In the back-to-school emails, they will help with enhancing their unified programming within your school. In this meeting, you will cover Special Olympics Minnesota agreements and goals, Special Olympics Minnesota expectations, sustainability expectations and opportunities, calendar and activity planning, Special Olympics Minnesota resource and sharing. Back to school meetings are so important to make sure your Unified Club is ready for the upcoming school year. Educators, if you need help planning your back to school meetings, you can reach out and send us an email at schools@somn.org.
You mentioned that during back-to-school meetings are a great time to learn about UCS resources. Can you share a favorite resource?
Absolutely. Yes, there is a Unified Activity A to Z list. This will provide many prompts and ideas for unified activities to have in your Unified Club to make it more inclusive in every way. So educators and unified leaders, if you are running out of activities for your unified programming, then that is a great resource to start and look for. How educators can implement this is asking their Unified Champion Schools staff for the link to the Unified Champion Schools Dropbox.
You brought up the Unified Champion Schools Dropbox. How can educators use that to their advantage with their unified clubs?
That is a great question, Abby. There is a Student Board Directors Dropbox. That is a wonderful resource for your unified club. The Dropbox includes bylaws, cabinet rules, sample meeting PowerPoints, code of conduct for students, and many resources to help your student youth leadership. If you want more information to the Student Board Directors Dropbox and how you can use it for your unified club, ask your Unified Champion Schools staff member for the link to the Dropbox.
That is some awesome information on how more Unified Champion Schools can get involved in ideas. Bria,
What are some more volunteer opportunities that people in Unified can get involved with Special Olympics Minnesota?
There are a lot of volunteer opportunities going on with Special Olympics Minnesota. As an alumni at Egan High School's Unified Club, I recommend that your Unified Club volunteers at a Special Olympics event to give back for your team to give back to the community. I know I wish that I volunteered at my Unified Club for a Special Olympics event. Here are some opportunities for volunteering events. There is a plane pull on Saturday, September 6th at the Minneapolis airport. Move for Inclusion on Saturday, September 20th at Roseland Park in Edina. And Regional North Cornhole on Saturday, September 27th at Whitney Recreation Center in St. Cloud. Those are just the September dates. There are so many events and how you can sign up on SpecialOlympicsMinnesota.org and get involved volunteers.
These sound like some nice volunteer opportunities. The plane pull is very fun. What other times in your life can you pull a plane? It is a very cool experience.
Wow, plane pulling, how fun. The Move for Inclusion sounds nice with a long walk, then dancing, and then some food trucks at the end. We always close each episode with the athlete oath. Abby, I have an important question for you. Athlete to athlete. What does the athlete oath mean to you?
It makes me feel included and part of the Special Olympics community. It makes me feel pumped up and proud to get me ready for the competitions.
That is very special. Abby, will you close us out with the athlete oath?
As an athlete with SOMN for 20 years, I would love to. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am. Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. That concludes episode 5 of Unified Exchange. Thank you for our listeners for your support, and once again, don't forget to live unified.